Ahmed, always good to have you with us. Now, let's just start, first of all, with this decision by the CIA to stop backing and arming these rebels. Has it come as any kind of surprise to watchers of the region?
At the time Donald Trump was a candidate, he was speaking about this, and he was saying that we don't know who these rebels are, and if we continue arming them, we don't know where these arms are going to end up. That's why at the very beginning he was very clear that he is not going to follow the footsteps of his predecessor Barack Obama, and he's going to cut these kind of things. His main priority is to continue funding. He's not going to cut all the kind of funds, equipment, train. He's going to continue funding the YPG, the Syrian Democratic Forces, to continue his fight against ISIS.
And that's against Daesh because, of course, these CIA-trained troops were fighting against Assad, which was putting him into conflict with the Russians.
The point is that's the demand of Russia, and their report speaking about his recent meeting in the G20 with Putin, that came out with this result after the de-escalation zone. Now, how Trump, what did he get in return? Because it doesn't make sense for a man like him to just abandon that kind of very important card or chip to use at the bargaining with the Russians and the negotiation table when it comes to the future of Assad, the future of Syria. He needs this as a kind of pressure card on on his negotiator counterpart. Now he's going to abandon this for what in return? I think the de-escalation zones, the northern Syria, is something crucial. We need to wait and see how things will play out.
We do wait and see what that leverage is he may now have on the Russians. Now, you mentioned it earlier, America will still be funding the SDF and by proxy the YPG in northern Syria, and that's putting the United States into conflict with Turkey.
That's the elephant in the room. Everybody is speaking about a strategic relationship between Turkey and the United States, but recently I do believe that reshuffling of these kind of cards on the ground is changing this. We are going to see more a standoff, if you will, or a kind of disagreement on lots of topics on the ground. There was a kind of agreement between the Russians and the Turkish government when it comes to Afrin, the de-escalation zone. There could be a kind of agreement to change the regions, and the SDF or the YPG existing in Afrin in the north of Syria are going to relocate to the east of the Euphrates Shield, and that's what Turkey is always asking the United States to do. But after the meetings, you know what? It's a kind of it becomes obsolete to speak about strategy, to speak about, it's a cliche, the fluidity of the region became more uncertain how things will play out, how things will end up. But my point is, all of this happening is going to lead eventually, it's to soft partition of Syria. Now, we're not talking about the territorial integrity of a country called Syria. It's, by a way or another, the de-escalation zones is a euphemism to soft partition, and this is going to happen, and that's a pity for this country that suffered a lot, that sacrificed to end up without a central country.
Absolutely. Ahmed Alburai, thank you again for your analysis. Thanks for coming in.